Okay, so this is my travel journal that I actually take with me when I go places. The one that is in my other video, this one here, is for logging things when I get back home. It's for saving memories, for putting things in a different order, for being a bit more creative with how I keep track of where I've been. This one is small. Obviously, it can fit in my hand. It's just a plain old notebook, as you can see. And it's something for me to do if I can't take my computer, which I can't because the hinge is really weird, so I have to leave it home. It's for if I don't have time. It's just for jotting notes, really, and keeping track of my thoughts. I often do it at the end of the day. I didn't do this before I moved to Europe, but now that I'm here, I didn't have this first, and it didn't occur to me to do this. I would write a few notes in a notebook that I would bring along for other things to use for role-playing. Maybe I would make some notes in it while I sat in an airport or something. But in terms of actually keeping track of stuff properly, this is my first time doing that. As I mentioned in another video, I'm not the best at keeping up with journals. I always wanted to do diaries. I never could keep up with it at all. But this is something I can do because it's not every day, but it's every trip. And anyway, so I'm not going to flip through the whole thing. There are some names and stuff in there and whatnot, but I'm just going to show you just a little bit of what I've got in here. Okay. Ooh, if I can open it. There we go. So it's just pretty. I did try on this side, covering up some stuff here, to have a contents. I actually haven't updated it since then. I forgot about it. I've just been writing my posts in there. But you can see I've just got pages and pages of beautiful handwriting. Absolutely gorgeous handwriting. The pages have little pictures on them. This one is of a compass, I believe. And they've got quotes, and they just cycle through the quotes and pictures. At first I was avoiding the pictures, as you can see, but then I started getting forgetful and I started writing through them by mistake. So whether I wrote through them or not just depends on what I did that day or how tired I was. Every time I sat down to write, you can see here I put the time, the date, and the place. If it was the same place, then I didn't bother putting it again. I just put the date. Or sorry, not the date, the time and the location. So I've got different ones. I had a lot of time in Iceland to sort of sit and write between doing things. It keeps blurring, I don't know. It's annoying me. But then if I did a new day, I also did mention where I was just so we were all clear if anyone looks back on it, or if I look back on it, I know what's going on. And so on and so on. Here's, of course, Budapest. This one's very short. I didn't have a lot to say, a lot to do until that night. Most of these in Budapest I wrote at night because my days were very busy. And then different color, why not? And this was in Slovakia. The night we got in, and then the next day we took a break during the middle of the day, so I had time to write there, then that night. And that's where we are now. We finished, and so my next one will start down here, and it'll be my next trip, and so on, and so on. And then I organize these thoughts into my blog posts, into my journals. I use this and my photos to help me write my blog posts. I got a lot of travel related things at one time, and I think I actually found this by chance in a bookstore, and it matched in some way this travel tag and the passport cover that I had. So at any rate, it doesn't matter. It's travel themed. I really like maps, so that's one reason I picked it up. You can see it's just the same map. So that's my travel journal.